Ah, the Warriors. How could you hate it? With the way it is now, it's quite literally impossible to hate it, full of its brutal beatdowns, broken bones, and mimes for some reason. As of me writing this script in September 27th, 2023, there has been little to no new information of the Warriors' early stages from the game or the movie. So in this video, I will be presenting this information that I've already told you guys in these videos, but just less annoying, I guess. So without further ado, let's get into it. The Warriors movie, surprisingly enough, has a lot of unused, cut, and trashed ideas from the original script. A few of these cut and trashed ideas was that some of the Warriors were originally going to be killed off. One example of this being Cochise was originally supposed to be with the other Warriors when they were running away from the Baseball Furies, in which the Baseball Furies would have beaten him to death. Most of the cut content from the Warriors movie is lots of unused or just unknown gangs such as the Boyle Avenue Runners, the Alley Cats, the Mongols, and the most infamous, the Dingoes. The Dingoes being the most known due to them being an extreme stereotypical depiction of gay men in BDSM gear, and they have a Doberman, and the original script involved them kidnapping Swan and putting him in a straitjacket and throwing him in a cage until the other Warriors had to come save him. Nonetheless, even with all of these changes, the Warriors movie still managed to become a cult classic. So much so that in 2005, Rockstar Games took up the challenge of adapting said movie into a video game. Now, in the game, we have much more notable content to work with. So much more, in fact, that originally I had to make 2 videos to cover all that I had wanted to go over. To start with, The Warriors has several tracks in its files that go completely unused in the final version of the game. And in case you're wondering how they may sound, you're in luck. I'll play a few seconds of each of these songs for your pleasure. As you can hear, these songs have the same vibe as the Final Warrior soundtrack, but at the same time have a little bit of a different feel. Another piece of the game that eventually got discarded is a part of the 18th and final mission of the game titled Come Out to Play, in which, right after the Warriors run from the Rogue's car with the button mask section, you were supposed to go and find bolt cutters. Funnily enough, this part of the mission must have gotten cut very late in development due to a fully animated cutscene for the part of the mission being made, but just with no audio. What's a little bit disappointing is that having this find the bolt cutters portion of the mission could have been a different roamable part of Coney Island during the daytime, which would have been a very nice change of pace considering throughout the entire game you do missions either during the early hours of the morning, at night, or in the evening. Also, a small little piece of knowledge that's good to know is that originally, as seen in the game trailer, the Warriors were going to have the logo from the movie on the back of their vests. This was likely changed in the final version of the game due to Rockstar not being able to use the original Warriors logo that was heavily inspired by the Hells Angels logo. If you know, you know. Funnily enough, this next fact I only learned a few days ago, and that is that there is a cut rumble mode game called Life on the Run, where two players try to race to the end of an obstacle course where there are many things in the way, such as boxes, rotting fences, and climbable fences. Not to mention how during all of that there are also gates with pickable locks and cops chasing you. Personally, I think this would have been a great addition to Rumble Mode if it were used in the final game, but I can understand why it was cut. One really cool part of the Warriors lore that was seemingly scrapped was that before the final version of the game, there was plans to have the Warriors meet the Jones Street Boys before the setup mission, in which the Warriors would be at a graveyard where they spot the Jones Street Boys doing some shady business as usual. And, the coolest fact is that, like the bolt cutters, there are also voice lines found in the files to back up the claim.
Remember that shit that went down at the graveyard, man? Those Warriors really fucked us over. If we see those dicks again, man, it's gonna be a whole different ballgame, I'll tell you that much!
Oh, dude, that graveyard shit really pissed me the fuck off! I swear I'm gonna ruin those warrior fucks and their new Saracen boyfriends!
We're gonna burn those JSBs, man. Those caviar-eating motherfuckers are gonna pay for the graveyard shit they pulled.
As one of the comments on my previous videos have theorized, the Warriors may have initially met the Jones Street Boys in the graveyard after going to visit Ash's grave, meaning, if true, this mission would have taken place after the events of the mission Destroyed, when Virgil was killed, Elsie was beat the fuck up, and the Destroyers are essentially no more. Now, one interesting fact to note is that after completing the Armies of the Night arcade game, you will unlock a graveyard stage. Now, it is not known if this graveyard stage is the beta graveyard stage from the Jones Street Boys mission, but nonetheless, it's very cool to theorize about if it may have been that cut stage. And last but certainly not least, there are two completely unused audios in the game for the missions Scout's Honor and another ambiguous mission involving the hi-hats, which would most likely be a side mission in the Coney Free Roam section. Here, take a listen.
Shit! We're fucking trapped! Hans!
That's gotta be the dragon room. We're gonna have to sneak inside and grab the statue.
The green dragon statue! Let's grab that shit and split!
That's gotta be the dragon room. We're gonna have to sneak inside and grab the statue.
Come on, the first thing we need is the green dragon statue from the temple.
Hey man, you know those creepy mimes? Well, one of those clowns has been pinching off our crop, man, and that ain't cool. His name's Crackerjack. He's Chatterbox's brother. If you take him out, we'll give you something nice, man. Hey man, we saw you took out that fat mine Crackerjack. That was pretty righteous. He was pinching our crop, man. Here's a little something to say thanks.
Hey, dudes, take it easy. I'm gonna tell Chatterbox on you. Man, I just wanted to eat my chips. I'm too old for this shit. What'd I ever do to you?
Now, some things to note about these two what seems like cutscenes is that in the mission Scout's Honor, if you complete all of the spray tag objectives, then you unlock a sort of temple stage that normally is not seen in the mission at all. And it is very well possible that Rockstar could have eventually just scrapped that portion of the mission and used the stage as a just sort of Rumble mode exclusive map, because it seems like that's a little bit of a trend with the Rockstar developers in this game, where if there's a section of a mission that they don't necessarily put in the final version of the game, they will just throw that map or throw a map from that mission into Rumble mode. Now with the Hi-Hats mission, there is a lot less theories on it due to the fact that not only are the voice lines more ambiguous, but the entire situation is just way more ambiguous than the Scouts Honor one, because at least with the Scouts Honors one, we knew at least what the basic plot of the mission was. For the Hi-Hats one, it seems like this was a small sub-story that eventually just got cut. Although despite that, there is exactly one theory that I've heard from this mission, and that is that the Electric Eliminators are the ones who gave this mission to you, because what it seems like in the game, the Electric Eliminators and the Hi-Hats are sort of at a war, you know? They kind of hate each other, you know? Kind of the same dynamic of the Destroyers versus the Warriors, except a million times less cool, because the Hi-Hats are fucking lame and the Electric Eliminators just have shiny yellow jackets and shit. And apparently the Electric Eliminators are too fucking chicken shit to handle their own turf wars. What a bunch of fucking pussies. As you know, there is without a doubt lots of things that I haven't covered within this video, and there's likely much more to be found within this game. Thank you for watching this video. If you like these types of videos, just let me know in the comments, and who knows, maybe I'll stick to this form of content creation for the time being.